So welcome to another episode of Ask Michael. So I was looking on the discussion boards and I saw a really good question that one of our students asked named Peter. And his question was, what's the difference between a configure cell, and again, that's just any method name that we created, that we create, with a parameter versus your way, the DidSet. And this is related to lecture 52. All right, so first I want to say that both ways follow the model view control design pattern. In other words, we're putting all the logic in our custom class where the cell is defined. So both ways are fine, but you'll notice that a lot of even a lot of other instructors or seasoned developers will do it with, they'll create their own method and they'll pass a parameter and not use the DidSet. And again, both ways work fine, but I want to show you the better way of doing it. And most importantly, if you do it this way, and you have a future employer that's looking at your source code on GitHub, and you do it this way, and someone does it the normal, regular way that most people do it, you're going to stand out. And this is the purpose of this course, for you to step it up, to stand out from the crowd. And that's the goal and the objective of everything that I do in this course, and all the future bonus stuff that we do is to do things differently, efficiently, using following the proper coding, best standard coding practices, and optimize our code. All right. So, but just wanted to give a brief summary one more time, what the way that I have it now with the DidSet. And then I went in and I made changes to it to do it the other way, so I can kind of walk you through. And I think as we go through the code, you're going to see why the DidSet way is a much more easier way to do things. Okay, so let me go over to our code. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into what we have now. This is actually taking the last part 34, the last lecture of our source code. So this is the complete version. So if you are watching this and you didn't finish the whole course, there might be things in here you're going to see. Don't worry, you'll get to it as you go through the lectures. But what I did here in our music video table view cell class that we defined, I created a public API. I created a var video, and I say anytime I set the video, I'm going to update cell. And all update cell does, notice there's no parameter being passed here. All it does is it just populates the information. So when we scroll up and down, it'll get all the images. It'll put the name into our table list as we scroll up and down. All right. And if you go over to our code, you'll see here, if we're in the search controller, I'm going to take the filtered search index path.row, and I'm going to say cell.video equal the filtered row. And then as soon as I do that, it's going to go execute that method within the cell and put everything and build our table list. If we're not in the search, we're just going to get the videos, the main array, off index path and cell.video. Now, as you can see, one line of code, right? Very simple, really efficient. Now let me show you the other way. All right, now if I go back into our table view cell right here, as you can see, I commented this out. Look what I had to do here. I have a method called update cell, or it could be any name you call it. I mean, I mentioned configure, so Peter mentioned configure cell. It could be any method name that you want. But what the point is, we're passing it a parameter called video. And then we're going ahead and we're doing exactly the same thing we did here. And now if I go back over to here, what I do here is I say let video equal, again, the same thing, the filtered path, the filtered array of the index row. And I go, okay, execute cell dot update cell, and I'm passing it the video. So I know exactly the position of the information I want, and I'm bringing it over so I can populate on the table list. And else I do the same thing with the main array. So look here now. Now I'm creating a variable called video, and I'm either determining if it's a filtered or a main array. And then I call, and remember, cell up here is a reusable identifier and cast as our music video table view cell. So really I'm executing cell dot the update cell, which is the name of the method, passing it a parameter. And then over here, I'm just doing the same thing I did. So as you can see here, I'm at a point where I'm doing one line of code. Basically, I'm just doing either I do cell.video equal the filtered array, or I do it the main array. And I don't have to worry about passing a parameter. It's cleaner, it's easy to read, and you really know with documentation because the DidSet, it's right there. Now, both ways are correct. There's nothing wrong with either way. But again, this is the better way of doing it, and you're gonna stand out. And so I hope that, Peter, I hope that answered your question here. If you have any other follow-up or any other questions or feedback, just post it up, add any additional comments on discussion boards. But as you can see, this is a much better way of doing it. All right, I'm going to end this video now, and I'll see you on the next lecture on Ask Michael.